Sup guys, Juggalo here, and this is the computer case that I built for my grandmother, and this is a surprise to her. And this is the Corsair Spec 2, and I'm kind of going to do like a little overview of what I did and how I think of the case and everything like that. The case was pretty cheap. It came with like a $10 cashback card, so I'm going to have to fill that out. It does have some kind of mesh material at the very top, which I will show you later during the video. But you get a 120 red fan, and that's all you get. You can do two 120s here or two 140s. At the top, I believe it's two 120s. The back has a 120. And then you have seven or six PCI slots and everything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and try to show you the best I can. So I'm going to go ahead and should just unhook everything. So to call it good. Okay. Just so everything isn't tangled on the case and I can move it if need be. But if you turn on the computer, you're going to have a nice little glowing red light right here. Like I said before, the 120 is red. And we're going to go ahead and take a look inside. So let me go ahead and rotate that around. So here's the build itself. Very simplistic. This is a budget build. This isn't a enthusiast build. By no means, okay? So you're going to ask, well, why didn't you get a smaller case? Well, this is the smallest they had and came with the cash of $10, so it wasn't that bad whatsoever. We have an Asrock FM2A88M-HD Plus Micro ATX motherboard. We have a 430 watt power supply by EVGA. We have a 500 gig hard drive by Western Digital. We have your standard DVD drive. I think it's Samsung or LG OEM spec. So this is just an OEM drive. We have, for the processor and graphics, we have the AMD A10-7700K processor. It has graphics of the 7000 series cards, I believe. You can probably play some decent games on here if you really want to. You could probably play them on medium to high settings depending on your resolution. Then if you want to add a graphics card, of course you would want a little bit bigger power supply, and you'd be able to play games just fine with no problem. So yeah, we have 8 gigs of RAM of Crucial, I believe, 1600 megahertz. Latency is 99924. We have, your SATA connections are right here. This is SATA 1 going to the hard drive. We have SATA 2 going to the DVD drive. And then this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, HD audio is connected here. The motherboard surprisingly supports USB 3.0, so we went ahead and connected that. So you have all that fun stuff, so let's go ahead and take a look at the back. Have to be careful with the power cord, of course. And here's the back of the case right here. And it's nothing too fancy, so let me go ahead and see if I can zoom in a little bit while I talk about the I/O. So this does support legacy keyboard and your mouse, which is right here. You have VGA, DVI, HDMI, you have 2 USB ports, 4 standard, probably USB 2.0 ports, and then you have your audio connections here, so your mic, and looks like probably 2.1 surround sound, or 2.1 sound it looks like on it. You have your standard Ethernet drive and all that. Otherwise I have to redo the cable management, because this side panel is kind of nice because you can have a lot of cables and it doesn't have to be pretty, but I'm realizing it's kind of protruding out a little bit, so I'm going to have to redo the cable management on here, so I'm not going to take this off and everything. But yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and check the front of the case, and I'll probably crank you guys up a little bit so you guys can see the top. So 1 second. Okay, there we go. Like I said before, you have this nice glowing red right here. It's not overpowering. You have your power button, 2 USB 3.0s, your activity light, headphone jack, microphone jack, and of course your reset. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the cable management and everything. What I did, pretty much with this case, if you're really into cable management like I am, let me go ahead and relocate this camera, lower it down a little bit, and then we'll zoom out. So what I did, on just a little hint, if you do get a build similar to this, what I did was I took the fan wire and actually wrapped it around the housing of the fan itself and plugged it in straight into the fan header, which is, like, I doubt if you'll be able to see it. I might have to take the camera off the tripod, so give me 1 second. So the fan header, you can kind of see it. It's right behind here, so it's right there. We have 4-pin connection. So that's what I did. What I did was as well was take the 4-pin, and I didn't realize this until after I put the motherboard in and all that stuff. It has a hole for your 4-pin in the back of the case right here, or 8-pin depending on what motherboard you use. However, you have to take the whole motherboard out, take your cable, run it through the hole, and then put the motherboard back in. So I had to do that. For the 4-pin, or I should say 3-pin of this one, there's a little hole on this side, so you can imagine this, but there's a hole here, and I routed that cable out, down, and I used this little channel where the case cover connects to, and I routed the cable all the way down here and then up, and it plugged right into place. With this right here, your power switch, reset switch, kind of the same deal. Routed them straight down and then kind of just folded back the cables a little bit right here to make that into place. You do get 2 SATA connections here with the motherboard, 90-degree and straight, and then the other cable is just straight. So I have to use the 90 right here because the 90 won't work right here because there's about maybe 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters distance, and it won't plug in all the way. So that's what I did, and routed the HD audio kind of like down here, out, and then here, and then I zip tied these 2 cables together. I zip tied the SATA cables together to have a little, clean look and everything like that. Also trying to promote airflow because there's only 2 fans here. Don't need a whole lot of cooling in here. You also have a window, which is nice, so you can kind of imagine if there's something, it's going to be something like that, but like this, and then you'll be able to see my work inside. You do get a clear cover for the window, which I have already taken off so I can make this video and everything like that. Of course, it's a little staticky as well. So yeah, clean looking build. This case is pretty easy to work with. It's fairly cheap. You could probably fit a, let's see, if you were to yank out this whole cage here for your hard drives, and let's say you put in an SSD in the back for your primary drive, yank this out, so you could probably put a 240, or yeah, 240 might fit in there, or a 280, depending on how high the the radiator is. I would probably do a 240 rad. Could probably do a 240 rad at the top, and probably gonna have to take the camera off so you guys can see this. So this right here, you can kind of see that it has some kind of like mesh material, and I'm all for making it removable, but these plastic pegs, I doubt you'll be able to see. Basically you're gonna have to probably take a screwdriver and use the flat end and then push up on it to take these pegs out. So I wish they would have made it a little easier for these little guys to take out. So you have two on this side and you have two up here, so two in the front, two in the back. Like I said before, you have a kind of a bulged window, or not window but side panel here, so you can put all your cables, and might be able to undo. Yeah, see how quick the side panel wants to come off. I got to redo my cable management because I didn't realize it was that bad, but it's pretty bad for the most part. So let me go ahead and show you the cable management. And I'm sorry about that if you saw that. Everybody filled up the recycling bin, so unfortunately I haven't been able to take it out because it's still full. So let me go ahead and do this. So this is how I have my cable management in the back. So I have all the cables coming down, going through here, and then I use the channel, like I said before, to route the cables. This right here is the SATA drive connection, and then I also kind of just tucked it in and right here and called it good. I also have another power connection if my Uncle Guy needs to add another hard drive to here. So this is probably the part right here that's causing the issue of the case kind of bulging out a little. So I'm going to have to might have to undo this and then try to separate these cables more. And then this one right here is just one big thing of cables that are no longer being used or aren't going to be used, but I don't want to snip them or whatever from the power supply because it's, of course, that voids the warranty. I routed the 4-pin up and along here, and here's this hole that I was talking about. So you're going to have to take out your motherboard, or put this first and then put in your motherboard to get this to work if you guys decide to do that. So this is kind of a clean build and everything. I think I just might have to do a little minor adjustments towards cable management to get it to work and everything like that, so the case is not bulging out, or I should say the side panel. But that is the build. Hopefully you like this review of the case and everything, because I know a lot of people have been talking about this. So thank you guys for the support. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, comment, subscribe, rate this video, click that like button. You guys have a great day now. Bye.